In this video, I'm going to show you how to use Illustrator to create a simple letter logo using the initials of your name, and then make 3 variations of color. So the first thing that you need to do is open Illustrator. On your desktop, find the orange box that says AI. Double-click it and open this program. Next, go to File, New to create a new document. I'm going to call it Letter Logo with my name. Double check that the size is set to letter and then click OK. Now I have this nice blank document. I'm going to get the text tool and click in my blank area. This is really small, so right away I'm going to go up to the font size and change it to the largest setting, 72. Then I'm going to write capital J, capital S, my initials. This is kind of a boring font, so I want to change it. I'm going to highlight the letters, go up here to my font list, and scroll all the way to the top. Click on the first font choice. On my computer, it's Agent Orange, but I got that from the internet, so you probably won't have Agent Orange on your computer. Just click on the first font and highlight it so that it's blue. Then use the arrow keys on your keyboard and click the down arrow and go through the fonts one at a time until you find one that has some character to it that you like. The one that I chose for this project is up here at the beginning. It's called Amadeus Regular. Now what we need to do is convert this from a letter to from a text object to a picture object. So to do that, I need to do a couple of things. I'm going to click the selection tool, which is the black arrow, to make sure that the J and the S are selected. Then I'm going to go to Type and Create Outlines. Now that I've done that, this has converted into an image instead of text. I'm going to use the magnifying glass and make this a little bit larger. The next thing that I'm going to do is move the letters so that they're touching each other. In order to do that, I have to use the direct selection tool, which is the white arrow, so that I can select part of the image. I'll select the J. Then I'm going to use the arrow keys on the keyboard, and I'm going to scoot this over and up a little bit so that the 2 letters are overlapping. Now, in order to make this one object instead of 2 separate ones, I'm going to click and drag a box around both, and then I'm going to open the Pathfinder panel. The Pathfinder panel is not a default panel like the other ones on the side over here, so you'll have to go find it under the Window menu. Window, Pathfinder. So here I have a bunch of buttons that do all sorts of different things. The one that I want to use is called Unite. It's this first button here. So watch what happens in this overlapping area when I click this button. You can see it has combined them together, and now this is one single object. The next thing that I want to do is change the color. There are many ways to do that. One is up here, or I can open the swatches panel over here. I'll go ahead and click this pink color. However, this is a little bit too bright for my taste, so I want to tone it down a little bit. I'm going to click on this painter's palette, and I have these sliders that I can move around and change the value and the color of my letters. So I think I'm going to stop right there. In the example, I made these 3 dots a different color. So to do that, I'm just going to click off in this white area and then click the dots one at a time while holding down Shift. Then I'm going to take this slider and make those a little bit of a brighter pink, something like that. I'll click off to the side so it's deselected. All right, now let's move on to the second technique. I'm going to click this with the black arrow and make it a little larger. I'm going to hold down Shift so that it doesn't distort and use only the corner handle. Then I'm going to put it up here at the top. So with this selected, I'm going to hold down Alt and click and drag off a copy. So for the second one, it was white letters. So I'm going to click the object, and I could change the color here to white, or I could change the color over here to white, either way. But now that I've changed it, it's the same color as the background. I can't see it anymore. So I'm going to choose the rectangle tool, and I don't want the rectangle to be white, so I'm going to switch it to black and draw a rectangle around my object. Right click on it, arrange and send to back. Then I'm going to get the black arrow, the selection tool, and I'm going to make this a better size to fit it. All right, the other thing that I did for this one was I changed the dots to be different colors. So magnifying glass to make this bigger so I can see what I'm doing. Get the direct selection tool, click the first dot, make it blue, yellow, and pink. All right, that's the second example. Now for the last example, let's go ahead and select this, hold down Alt, drag off another copy, and the last example was a gradient. So I'm going to click the gradient tool down here in the toolbox. Over here in the swatches panel, I'm going to click linear gradient, and the default is black and white, but I don't want it to be black and white. Let's make this larger. So to change that, I'm going to open the gradient panel and double click on the white. I'll change it to green, and then I'm going to double click on the black, change it to purple, and I want some blue in the middle, so I'm going to hover the cursor, and you can see the white arrow with the plus sign. So when I click, I added another stop, double click it, I'll change that to blue, and there we go. So now I can get the gradient tool back, and I can redraw this over and over until I like the way that it looks. So maybe something kind of like that. So now I'm going to push Control 0. That fits my object or my whole document onto the screen. I'm going to click the selection tool and click off to the side so nothing is selected. And there are the 3 versions of my initials. Now obviously your initials are going to be different. You might not have dots on yours, but you can still change different parts of the letter to different colors if you would like to do that. Make sure that you save the changes to your letter logo to your W drive so that you can show it to me and get credit. That's it for now.